much to choose
No.
from.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Spooky Sunday night. President's Day Sunday night. Very spooky. Very spooky.
Oh my God, the ghosts of America's past have come to get us.
More.
Oh, Millard Fillmore, not you.
Oh, man. Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Granny's Peach Tea, episode 224. A holiday Sunday night here. Interesting time of the year, though. But thanks for joining us as always. If you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, or if you're joining us on YouTube, or wherever you found your audio-only podcast, we always appreciate the support. I'm Ed, and with me as always is Jason. Jason, what's up, man? You started out, you got me there. Like I was not expecting that.
Gotta start with a bang. Millard Fillmore. But yeah, no, happy President's Week. All my teachers out there, we're off this week. We made it that much closer to the summer. But yeah, been low key here on my end. Haven't really been watching much outside of the old TV shows, which I've been talking about. I haven't started watching it yet, but I did buy the Three's Company DVD set, so we're gonna be getting into some Jack Tripper.
Oh boy, that should be interesting. That should be really interesting.
I'm very much enjoying this little ride, and to the point where my friend, my work husband, and friend at work Patrick tells me that I should teach a college course on American myth through retro television. And God, if I could teach that would be wonderful.
That would be pretty sick. That would be pretty sick. I would want to pop into one of those classes and just hang out in the back and
come to Week at the Seinfeld.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, it's funny you mentioned that you bought a box set, because I as you know, Friday was Friday the 13th, and I had myself a fairly adventurous Friday the 13th, because I went out for my friend Tanya's birthday, and she found a bar in Williamsburg in Brooklyn called Crystal Lake.
Amazing.
And I'm like, are you fucking serious? So she leaned into that. When I got there, I wore my Friday the 13th hat and t-shirt, of course. I refrained from wearing my Jason costume, which was a thought that would happen too late, because I have the Holy Trinity. I do have a Jason, a Michael Myers, and a Freddy costume. So, and I refrained from that, but someone else did it, though. And he may have done it a little bit better. But there was a trivia night there that was going on in the back. And it's cool. I told Angie within 5 minutes we were there. I'm like, Jason and Ginny, we need to come out here, and we need to go out there one of these Friday the 13th, because there's 3 of them this year. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we absolutely need to. That sounds awesome. When you were texting me about that, and I was like, man, I wish I could go. I wish I was still young and carefree, that I could just on a whim go out to a bar on a Friday night. But that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I think you guys would enjoy it. They had the original playing on the one screen, and they had oddly Halloween playing on the other, which I would have probably just went with something on the extreme. I would have went Jason Takes Manhattan, had to happen.
Had to. You're in New York,
and I don't know if it did. I can't confirm that it needed to.
It should have. And I would argue Jason X too, because I mean that you're in Williamsburg. That's the the kingdom of weird and sort of retro and kitschy, and I think that Jason X would fit right in.
I wouldn't argue with that. As much as I've had my feelings of Jason X for many years, it's something that has to be, especially when you got people drinking. You got people at a bar drinking and stuff, and I think Jason X is a perfect. That and Jason Takes Manhattan are the two that probably really need to be on. I even told Angie, I'm like, the choice of the original I found interesting because I'm like, no one's gonna see Jason until the last 5 seconds of the movie. Like,
in all fairness to the bar, it wasn't called Jason Voorhees' Tavern. It was called Camp Crystal Lake, which is prominently featured in that first movie.
This is true, and through the first 7, and and then things went astray. Then we had Jason. Then we had Jason in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, right? Jason takes Vancouver.
Briefly Manhattan. Then we have him in space. Then we have him in God knows where. Because then we have him
hell.
Nowhere.
He goes to hell.
He goes to hell. Sort of. You know, when he's bouncing around, or his spirit is bouncing around for an entire film.
I mean, I don't. Like, I've seen that movie a dozen times. I don't still understand anything going on. When did Jason become a fucking worm in the head? Who's Creighton Duke, and why haven't I seen him before? I like him. He's the only interesting character in that movie. Why don't you do something with him? When is hell coming?
Yeah, it's. Well, I do think I have a feeling that the day I will keep pushing because PCB Deep Dive needs to come back one day. That is a franchise that needs to be tackled.
All right, I'll give that to you only because I want to make you watch Jason.
I will watch Jason X again. For you, I will watch Jason X again. I will, and I have a feeling that my feelings will change in the sense that I don't think it'll be the worst one.
Oh no, it's not the worst one. Come on, we can argue a lot of things that we can't argue.
No, I don't think it will be. Yeah, I especially the way I could see it now. I don't think that would be my takeaway. It might be Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, there's Jason Takes Manhattan. That also might. I don't know if I would be as harsh on it because I think I would find it more humorous.
Yeah,
just to laugh at it.
Yeah, I think Jason Goes to Hell is probably, and for me, it's either that's the worst or it's Roy. Oh. Roy Takes Crystal Lake.
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, no. Because Jason's not in the movie.
He's not. He's not.
Oh, man. But I did buy the box set, though. I mean, the digital box set of the original 8.
Okay.
Because I woke up to an email from Fandango at home that said they were running a promotion for the original 8 for $13.
Nice.
I was like, for $1 and change a movie? Yeah, I think I can.
That's worth it.
Make that work, right?
Look, if you can buy a movie you know you will watch at least once, and it is less than the price of a rental, you have to.
Yeah, you almost feel like that, and then I get 8 movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had to do it. So, yeah, that's and and the Crystal Lake thing. It was actually a lot of fun, but I was gonna start watching them. But the Olympics have taken over my life, so I'm watching the Olympics constantly.
Okay. I didn't know you were a Winter Olympics guy. I
am more of a Winter Olympics guy than a summer, to be honest with you, because I like the USA hockey, right? The men's and the women's.
Makes sense.
And I have gotten into curling.
Really?
Curling is insane. It's kind of nuts because it's such a niche thing. And once you start to learn, you take a minute to just try to learn the rules and some of the strategy. It's pretty fucking intense. It's actually pretty fascinating. And these people screaming, "The sweep," and then like that. It's pretty nuts. So me and Angie have become glued to this. We're watching it at it starts at 8 a.m. Then there's another one at 1, and we're watching men's and women's curling. It's pretty wild. And then it's like, oh yeah, hockey's on later in the day. So I'm like, this is great. Like,
I love that you guys are so into curling. And it's funny is you're not the first person to tell me this, to speak so passionately about curling.
It's weird, yeah, because we're not the only ones. It's this last Summit Olympics. This started when I was in a bar, when I knew the bartender, and I was pretty drunk when I walked in, and me and him were talking, and he had the Olympics on. And I look up at the screen, and I'm like, "What the hell is this? And what are they screaming about?" And started watching. Me and him became glued to it, and we're starting to watch it. And we couldn't hear anything. It was like it was at a bar. And I'm like, I have to know more about this. And it wasn't like when I sobered up and everything like that, like the next day and everything, I found myself wanting to start learning about. So every Olympics, I've started to like try to take more interest in stuff. This is like peak. Like I want to play curling. I want to play curling. I want to do it.
Wait, is that something you could just do?
Apparently not, because for my birthday this year, we were going to do it. We were looking into it, kind of like bowling alleys and stuff like that.
Right.
Like they had it, but they had this like food package and beer package, and like the price was stupid. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna tell people they have to come out and like pay for this for my birthday. Yeah. I'm like, maybe if we want to, we can look into this and like get a group of people who genuinely really want to play, and we put it together and we do this. And yes, I would need to be like. It would need like I don't bowl a lot, even though I do enjoy it, and I'm actually like fairly good at it. Mm-hmm. But I don't take it like I just go and I have some beers with it and I do that. That's how I could see curling being. Okay. I can see like some people like getting a couple of pitchers and like getting into this, and I think it would be a blast.
All right. Hey, you know what? If you go curling, I'll go. Let me know if it's not if it's in the price range. I'm there. I'll bring my own whisk broom.
Oh, when I've swept him up a couple of times, even at work or here, like a spot thing, I'm already like, girl, hard, and like yelling the whole thing. Yeah, it's you have to you have to. It's a lot of fun, and then what's funny about it is that when the Olympics are over, I'm gonna pretty much forget about the curling until it's time to actually do it one day, and that'll be it. And then in 4 years, it'll be like, let's go again.
Hey, I'm getting that itch again. I think curling's coming back.
I kind of want to sweep. I don't know why, and I want to start screaming like at people, and then like do the shot. Like, yeah, it's fun, man. It's interesting to like pick up another random sport for a couple of weeks. Right. And they're like, all right, and then it's just again, it kind of like disappears.
I love it.
But, all right. So though we do have like comic book stuff to talk about and like that. We are gonna go ahead. We had a trailer drop.
Wait, we haven't become the curling podcast? I thought this was the curling podcast.
Jason, don't get me started. Don't threaten me with a good time. All right, I'll text Farachi. well, that's it. We'll be the curling podcast now. I have to come up with some obscure name for it too. Shot Rock, boom, or In the House.
I like that one.
All right, so yeah, we did get a trailer finally dropped. There was a poster that dropped also for the live-action Spider-Man Noir series that's coming out, and this is Nicolas Cage picking up his role that he lent his voice to in the Spider-Verse, across the Spider-Verse movies. And Jason, if I would have told you the list before this thing was announced, there would have been a list of Spider-Man live-action series that we're going to be getting. Did you think we would get a Spider-Man Noir series starring Nicolas Cage? Actually starring Nicolas Cage?
No. I thought we would get a Spider-Ham actually starring a talking pig with spider powers before we get a Nicolas Cage-driven Spider-Noir. Not to say I think it's a bad idea, I just didn't think it would ever happen.
No, I did not think, or I kind of assumed like somebody else would play it or something like that.
Right. Like, I didn't think Nicolas Cage would come back. But that's the beauty of Nicolas Cage. You don't know what he doesn't know what he's gonna do. He's a vampire. Yeah,
he's just it's fascinating. And my excitement for this though is that I have mixed feelings, but I'm leaning more positive now, and you'll see why in a second when we watch this trailer. Lord and Miller, who produced the Spider-Verse films, are behind this. They are producing this, so that gives me some hope that we're going to get something good here. My trepidation is that it's from Sony, and as we know, Sony's live-action Spider-Man adventures for quite some time now have not quite been great, to put it nicely.
They have none of them had actually had anything resembling a Spider-Man either.
Exactly. Which makes this different. But even when they had the unamazing Spider-Sham films, we also were not on board with them. So I think that's the thing. So it's been a little while.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, all right, but like, we were on board with the original Spider-Man. That was a good 2 movies,
2002.
I don't know. I want this to be good.
Yeah, 2002 and it's 2004. So yeah, I really do. But let's do it. So, but Jason, the trailer was released. There are 2 different trailers. There's a black and white, and there's a full color.
Oh, okay.
Which one do you want to watch?
Oh,
see,
of course, the black and white one.
I knew you would.
That's the noir one.
Exactly, and the series will be available in both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's each version. Cool. So here we go. Here's the opening shot here with the man himself scraping at the door. All right, let's check this out.
Tell me why.
You already know how it ends.
Well, then start from the beginning.
Ticks. Thoughts. Impulses. I manage to suppress them. Most of the time.
What's going on, Ben?
Wait. What the hell happened to him?
I beat up some guys in a bar. And I got plastered.
What are you thinking about over there?
Bit of an existential crisis, if I'm honest.
Struck a nerve, huh?
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. This has a couple of things really going for it here. The first is it clearly knows the assignment. Right? And we could tell how many times did we watch one of those trailers for any of those non-Spider-Man movies when we're like, no, clearly they fucked this up, right?
Yeah.
This gets the assignment, right? This looks like a noir. It's a hard-hitting, hard-boiled detective Spider-Man. It's Nick Cage going all Nick Cage.
Oh yes, I do think we're gonna get a lot of Nick Caging.
I mean, look, and this is the place for it. And the fact that it's involved with the guy who did Spider-Verse, because those, I think you and I agree, are the 2 best things to come out of Sony since the original 2 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, it's not even close.
No, so I think this looks great, and this has, I think, enough reasons for me to be optimistic about it. I'm kind of excited to watch it, and I might watch it in black and white because I know you'll watch it in color. I might watch it in black and white so we can compare the experience.
So apparently, you're the first person to think I was going to watch it in color.
Oh,
So both Joe and Angie, when I texted them the link, they both replied the same without speaking to each other. They're like, "You're going to watch it in both, aren't you?"
oh, well, good point.
And
You will watch it in both.
I was like, because it is Spider-Man Noir. I was planning, my preferred way would be in black and white, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because it's Spider-Man Noir. For the sake of curiosity, I probably will, if I can do my 2 watches like I usually do for the show, I will do like the first one in black and white, and then I'll probably do my second version in my second watch in color.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity. But if I had to pick one, no, I would go noir with this because I think it's required for this. It just
agree.
is. Yeah, it feels
I
right.
agree.
Now I've also seen that we are getting.
You know, I'm just so used to people being.
Go ahead.
I'm so used to people like being just so against black and white. I guess I just assumed. I forgot who I was talking to.
No, hold on, dude. I remember when we did Logan, I watched it in black and white.
That's right, you did. I forgot.
I did because I never got around to it, so I figured let me do it now. No, I'm cool with that. I mean, I have no issue with that at all. But we are getting also alternate versions of Black Cat in this.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting Electro, from what I understand, Molten Man, Sandman, and I forgot who else they said was supposed to be in this too. But we also noticed that, remember, he's also playing, his character's Ben Reilly, not Peter Parker.
Oh yeah, is that the way it is in the comic too?
So they're going to explain why he goes by Ben Reilly in this. In the comic, he is Peter Parker.
Okay.
Again, it's splitting hairs here, but
it doesn't matter.
No, it's not really doesn't matter. But also, there are variants of Spider-Man that do go by Ben Reilly. They don't always go by Peter Parker. So,
right. And to be honest, even if there wasn't, this is Sony doing their own thing, having to, doing what we've been saying they should have been doing this whole time, which was explore the Spider-Verse variants, and they need a way to distance themselves from Peter Parker. So they choose Ben Reilly. Okay, that's really the only explanation I need.
Yeah, exactly. And to tell you the truth, I didn't see if this was fact, but I do wonder if it had to do with because I don't know the rules or all the rules around their deal with Marvel. They might not even be allowed to use Peter Parker. True. So they might have to use Ben Reilly, which is fine. I don't care, and I can see, again, the Lord and Miller basically had said in an interview last week that they said it was to differentiate Tom Holland, Peter Parker, who's live action right now, and then like this one that we're getting here. So that's fine. I mean, I got no issue with that at all. And apparently he's also going to be known as the Spider and not Spider-Man in this. And again, it's more of like just what people are calling him.
And that actually sounds more like 40s noir comics, like the Shadow. He wasn't Shadow Man. He was the Shadow. That's right. I mean, the only reason Batman is the Batman because the Bat doesn't sound as menacing.
No. And that's what they had said too. It's funny you mentioned that because in that same thing, they did mention it was because they were kind of doing an homage to heroes at that time. So it kind of just seems like it all fit. The tone of this show, I don't think it's going to be as comedic. I don't think it's going to be that comedic. I'm getting a vibe that maybe it's not.
I'm hoping it's a noir.
Yeah,
I mean
I think
that's
they're
a
going
genre.
in.
I hope so. I hope this is a hard-boiled detective who just happens hard drinking, like we saw, who just happens to get these spider powers, but still does his like hard-boiled detective stuff. Like that's kind of what I want to see. It's in the name, Spider-Noir.
Yeah, that's what I do think we're getting. And Nick Caging in this should be interesting because he definitely does some of it in here in the trailer itself.
He's he's Nick Caging it up, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I can see that they're probably going to unleash Nick Cage on us.
Release the cage.
Yeah, we got the hand motions and the snapping and everything, and I got plastered.
Yeah. Nick Cage. Nick Cage just. I used to hate Nick Cage when I was younger. I was so wrong. He adds beauty to everything he's in.
Yeah, there's definitely an element to Nick Cage where you have to appreciate for what he's bringing to, especially since he became like self-aware of his Nick Caging, then I'm good with that.
Yeah, same.
I am curious to see. I would love to know Tim's reaction to this, since is he gonna watch it? Is he not gonna watch it now because it's Nick Cage as Spider-Man?
We should see if we can get him on the show for the show to cover it with us. See if he'll watch it with us.
I'm kind of curious. So we'll have to check that out with him. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit away. This is coming out around like Memorial Day, but
okay,
I can't wait. Like, this looks pretty fucking cool and very different from anything else we've had.
Agreed. Yeah, and you know what, I love to see them try new things, even if they fail. Like new things that look good, not new things that are cash grabs because they don't own rights. Like,
no, I feel good that they actually the Lord and Miller part of this is adding a lot of goodwill for me. You know, like if they weren't involved in this, I would be very hesitant to be like, all right, shit, this could be, like you said, the Sony cash grab again, but they're trying to be more direct to Spider-Man at least, but they're doing what they can. But I don't think Lord and Miller, I mean, I can't think of anything they've rolled out that I haven't liked. Like the Lego movie, the sequel was good. The Jump Street movies, which you finally got around to watching recently.
Yep, and I really did enjoy those. They were good. I did like what I saw of the Lego movies.
And then the Spider-Verse movies.
And we've talked about that, right? I think I was telling you last week that Finn is starting to get into those movies, and I'm here for it because it's a great movie, like both of them.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see too that, like, if this is successful, does Sony decide to give Lord and Miller the keys to the kingdom of like, hey, we're gonna try our live action thing again, but like you guys can do it for us, and maybe they have interesting takes on what they can do. But I also know that recently there was reports out there that supposedly Sony has become way more open to sharing the characters they own the rights to with Marvel now, which is why we're getting more Spider villains in Spider-Man Brand New Day and probably moving forward. So
yeah, because they're going to make some good bank on that, and that's, hey, money motivates. But honestly, what I would love to see in a perfect world for me in this is they're like, okay, we will give you carte blanche with any of the Spider-Man Prime characters. But like we're gonna take Miles and the multiverse stuff. So it's like, you're never gonna have a Miles, but you can use any original version of the source material you like. You can do Dr. Octopus, as he originally was. We'll take the one from the multiverse where she's a female. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would love to see, and then just let Lord and Miller just do their thing with all of those characters and playing around with stuff like this, like Spider-Noir. That I would be 100% on board for.
Yeah, that can work. Again, also let's also see the series, because as much as I think we're both excited about it. Let's just make sure they execute this thing and get this thing right. But if they do, you're right. Like if they were going to go live action, because I would imagine Sony would start pushing them like, all right, let's do live action other versions and stuff, like, and see what we can get out of this. You're right. If they took Miles and did his thing, and they gave the MCU like, hey, here's a huge fucking rogues gallery for Tom Holland Spider-Man to go with. They're like the traditional ones, like Green Goblin, Doc Ock. You got to give him Venom and stuff like that. it's fine. Just roll with that, and then keep X amount for Miles, and do the live action Miles. Yeah, I would be, or even Spider Gwen. Want to go with Spider Gwen? Fine.
Right, or whomever, right? Whichever one, or hell, do Spider Punk for all I care, and use the different versions of those multi-versions versions of the villains. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, they could have something here. We'll see. Hopefully, they get it off the ground.
And hopefully, it all depends on this. If this sucks, that's it.
Yeah, or if it's like okay,
or if it's okay, yeah. But if this is great, I think that might be a possibility.
Yeah, the trailer definitely worked for me though. It got me more excited for the project, than I was prior, for sure. All right. Well then, with no TV shows though, we have a movie though. So
Do we?
We'll find out shortly. Now, won't we? So anyone who's been with us for a bit, we've been going back through the Alien film franchise and taking a look back at that. We started all the way from the OG straight through, but now it's time to take the story back to the beginning. And we have
it though? Is it
beginning-ish? I mean, the earliest in the timeline. Prometheus, when Ridley Scott returned to the franchise that he did launch with Alien many, many, many years earlier. He did come back for a pair of films before sliding over to the producer's chair for Alien Earth, which, again, I don't know. He might just be consulting. Who knows? Producers have different levels of.
They slapped his name on it.
They could have. He may have had not a damn thing to do with it. Or they could just ask him a question once in a while, and that's it. Who the hell knows? But he definitely did direct this film. And it's been a film, I think it's safe to say, has been, I don't know, I would say polarizing since it came out. I think a lot of people, some hated it, some didn't, whatever. Jason, leading up to this, when we've talked about it, you were definitely on the positive side, if I remember, like with Prometheus. You kind of like were really, you were down, you were in.
So I'll tell you and I saw this is only the second time I've seen this movie. The first time I saw it was in the theater. Yeah, okay. I saw it in the theater once.
Okay.
I remember being with it until the end, and then at the end I was hard out. Okay. Like I really felt it like it was interesting up until it messed up the payoff, but I thought it had some interesting moments. And then upon thinking about it, I realized, like, well, it does have this big flaw, which we will discuss. In its like the mechanism with which it's supposed to make sense. That the flaw is there, and so when I've been wanting to rewatch this movie for a bit, I was like, oh, maybe I was too hard on it. Maybe I was expecting something I just didn't get. That's happened before. I've seen movies that I love now I didn't like when I first saw it because I had different sets of expectations. But I waited till we did this show so I could watch it last night, or watch it on Friday for this. So that's my history with this movie.
Okay, I saw this I've watched this a few times. I started in the theater, and I'm pretty sure a couple of times because I own it. So I mean, I've definitely watched it. Then, because when I do buy a movie, usually I will typically watch it fairly quickly, and then on occasion pop it on, or I've came across it when it was on. I remember HBO and stuff like that, and I would just whatever. But it's been a minute since I actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end. And when we do this stuff for the show, we're watching it through a very I would say probably the most critical lens.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, we got to have a conversation here. But I've never been one I never hated this movie. I agree that I found it interesting. My biggest knock against this movie has always been it doesn't feel like it feels like it's part one of something constantly. It just feels incomplete. It feels like there was like a movie, there was one long movie that got chopped up on purpose. And I remember going into this the first time I remember them like not really promoting it as an Alien prequel. It was just like another Ridley Scott sci-fi film, from what I remember. They were kind of like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We don't know. We're not going to tell you. You'll have to go and see it. And I remember seeing it, and then like, oh, okay. We got Wayland. We have, you know, I see where we're going, the planet we're going to. We have the LV and everything like that, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is definitely an Alien movie of some sort. Is it just set? As we're going, I'm just kind of thinking in my mind, like I'm trying to think back to like I first saw it and going through the ride, and I'm like, all right, I see things. I think where we're going here. I guess this is an Alien prequel, and then the ending. Then the facehugger shows up. And I'm like, all right, this is definitely an Alien movie of some sort. And the ending, we get the alien-ish, xenomorph-ish, thing that is referred to, as Deacon by, that's, I guess, the prequel to, I don't know. It's just, it's a thing. But I also remember like, oh, I want to see where the story goes, because I felt like the film was, I think Ridley Scott had a story about the engineers that he felt like this is what it was supposed to be, and then got this. And then also thinking back to the original Alien, we know, like, once we see the visual stuff that was passed by an alien, I'm like, all right, this is a prequel, yada yada. So then I remember like, all right, this is it. But I just remember being kind of like unfulfilled watching it, because again, where's the rest of the movie? And it had a lot of questions. I had many questions walking out of this. I tried to kind of forget Alien Covenant because I was trying to like not know if these questions get answered. But we can save that for next week. But that's the thing. I just think this movie doesn't stand on its own 2 feet. That's my biggest issue.
I agree. And I'll tell you this. I gave you my take when I first saw it. My take now is very different. I am I dislike this movie.
Oh, okay. You went all the way to dislike now.
I dislike this movie. And not because of anything it is technically. I think technically it looks great.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit boring at times. But my biggest problem with this movie is it doesn't, if you really boil it down and really look at it critically, none of it makes sense. Like, it falls apart sense-wise, so with like 4 questions. And then on top of that, people are just doing stupid things that no one, even in the worst written horror movies, would do. Like, I'm on a planet. Oh, I'm going to take my helmet off. Don't do that. Fuck you. Like,
yeah, I don't know what that was about.
There's so much of it that it kind of collapses under the weight of that. And then knowing that it kind of goes nowhere and I'm just left with lots of questions and no answers. So as you said, it's like half a movie. It was like, I can state this. I will never watch this movie again.
Wow. I mean, I get, well, I'll save that question for the end, because you always like to do our rankings of the franchise we're getting into at the moment, like
yes.
to kind of like wrap it up. So we'll save that. I'll save that for you. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen. I do think, on a positive note, I think the acting performances in the film, I don't really have an issue with. Like, I'm good. I think Michael Fassbender is bringing it in this thing.
The acting is good.
Yeah, as David, he is the synth in this film, which you kind of, they don't really try to hide that. They're pretty right off. He's creepy at times. That. Yeah, he's definitely creepy at times, asking questions, and some of the things he says, even like, it's like, hey, isn't it the purpose of like old children to want to like see their parents die? Almost like, yeah, I want to kill you guys, or whomever my creators were, but I'm gonna just roll with this. And at that point in the film, we don't know that Wayland is on the actual ship. Like, it just seems like it. Did you or did you kind of catch that early?
I mean, look, it's hard to tell. I don't remember if I caught that the first time I saw this, But watching it this time, I was like, uh, nothing else makes sense except for him to be on the ship. Why? Because he has that moment in the beginning where it's like, I'm a hologram, I'm dead, but I've spent all of this money to send you guys out there, and I'm like, no, he's not dead. He's still. What are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. Why would an old rich man do that for the benefit of humanity? I live in America in 2026. I know that's a myth.
Yeah, that's not really something that's going down. I thought he was like still back home though. Now that they were still sending another. I thought we were getting away with Newtani, like, hey, go fetch this for me, bring it back, yada yada. So it was a little bit interesting that wasn't the case, and then we find out that Charlize Theron's Vickers is his daughter, which, I mean, that didn't really. I felt like it was supposed to be some sort of twist that I didn't care. I mean, it didn't change anything for me. I mean, she's still kind of there, but then she has this weird thing with David because he sees David as this son that he's never had.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know. Then also Vickers has this like weird random thing with Idris Elba's character with the captain where they just randomly go bang off screen and then it does nothing.
Awkward moment too. It's like how do you, if you ever asked a question, if you ever want to win a bar bet, how do you waste the talent of Idris Elba and you just show the scene where he tries to pick her up and Charlize Theron? How do you waste two incredibly talented, sexy people's sexuality and acting talent this scene?
It's a weird scene. And I also find it weird that we've gotten in the last couple of Alien movies now, because we're following it in theatrical, that there seems to be weird sexual scenes that happen in these movies that are so awkward and like shoehorned in. Why is this a pattern?
I don't know. I mean, look, it makes sense in the first one because it's the alien impregnating men, right? We talked about the whole, rape and impregnation of men. That's why it's so scary, the symbolism.
Yeah.
I don't think there is. Is there? There's no weird sex scene in 2, is there?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's just after the good ones it starts.
Yeah. They don't got time.
But then 3. No, they're actually making movies over there.
They actually had something to do.
Yeah. They were just trying to kill time so they could pad the runtime.
Yeah. There was in Alien 3, there was Ripley randomly hooks up with the doctor, and then that leads to nothing.
Right.
And then everyone wants to rape her.
And then I don't even remember what happens in the other ones. I don't know. It's someone.
Oh, Alien Resurrection. Remember, she comes out with you get the one dude, Ron Perlman's character wants to desperately wants to bang pretty much everything, especially Winona Ryder's Call, who's a synth, and then Ripley basically says she'll bang whoever she's got to get off the Ripley 8.
That's
reveals she's got whoever she's gonna bang to get off the ship, and then we get the captain with the girlfriend with the foot thing. I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's like I don't know why this became a pattern in this franchise now.
I don't know, and I hope it goes away after this because it really doesn't work here at all. Like because it's so awkward. Like he's clearly like, hey, like they have this power dynamic, right? Because he's and that's another weird thing. Everyone and no one is in charge in this fucking expedition. Not the 2 shitty scientists.
Yeah.
Not the captain, not Charlize Theron, no one and everyone, right? It's the weirdest thing. And that's why they're fighting, because you think you're in charge, And then Idris Elba kind of sheepishly goes, if you ever want to get lucky, I'm kind of here. And she's like, no. And she's like, oh, you scared? And she's like, I'll show you scared. Let's get lucky. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Who wrote this?
I don't know what that was. It was the strangest dialogue ever. It was so awkward. It was so bizarre. It made no sense.
I couldn't even call that seduction.
No, it wasn't. No, or certainly not. And then we do get, though, around that time, we get our two main doctors in this film, which is Elizabeth Shaw and Holloway over there. They are together, and they do go in. No, what do they do? Basically? They do actually, yeah. And the result of that is she's pregnant with a xenomorph.
All right, and now here comes question number one that starts to unravel the thinly veiled thread of the logic of this movie. Why?
I don't know.
And how did David know that was going to happen? Why did David want to orchestrate that? Why did Yutani want to orchestrate that? What's the fucking plan?
There is no plan, Jason. There is absolutely no plan. Things just happen along the way. Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
He poisons him with the blood, and then he gets virile and sexually transmits the first xenomorph. Is that Jesus xenomorph? Is that what that is? The virgin xenomorph birth?
It could be. It could be, because to my understanding, this is the origin of the xenomorphs. Sort of ish.
Sort of. And so he inseminates her with a xenomorph who grows, and he dies for reasons. Who knows?
Yes.
And like he just becomes a monster for some reason himself. We don't know why.
The black goo.
Yeah. And then this woman gives herself a cesarean section with a laser, and then fights this thing off and starts running around the ship like she just didn't have her stomach torn open and sewn back up.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. Nope. I got nothing for you, man.
None of this makes sense. Nothing. Not from the first scene on.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we could also go back to the first scene. So we have one of the engineers on a planet that could be Earth, could not be Earth, many, many years ago, because from what I understand, this is supposed to be the origin of man, essentially. He does this shot of goo for whatever reason, and then he just kind of like disintegrates and falls apart, and like that's it.
And I guess what I've always assumed is, for whatever reason, we don't know why they do this, and we will call more into question why they sacrifice themselves to do things like this when we get to the third act of this movie and what happens in the third act. But so the engineers recode DNA in a goo and then go off world, consume it destroys them, and that goo goes and permeates life on the planet. That's what I'm assuming happens. And so like them do, and I'm making, this is nowhere in the movie, by the way, nowhere. But I'm assuming when he took the shot and he went to the water, that was the engineered DNA weaving life into the water, which is, the evolutionarily speaking, we all come from the water. That, so it was like single-celled organisms. That's what I assumed. But again, that's nowhere in this fucking movie.
I guess I was somewhat under the same assumption. I've always guessed that's what the beginning of this movie is supposed to be, because it doesn't really connect with anything else that happens in this movie at all.
Except for there are only two things it connects to, but it connects. The first is it's why there are cave paintings, which we will talk. We will talk about those cave. We're going to talk about them.
Let's get to that next.
At the end, close in the middle of the movie, when they find the head, which had been like frozen, I think it had been going through something similar, and that's why the creature bursts out at the connected.
Well, also though, it's
anyway.
As we see in our background though, like you mentioned the head that's there, because they do find the big head, and then it has these capsules that look like they're kind of like the alien face hugger things, and yeah, I just don't know. The biggest question in this movie is, it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, with the whole xenomorph thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I as I was watching, my brain was desperately trying to make sense of it, and so like I did notice a couple things, but again, it's nowhere. It's me guessing. It's nowhere in this movie. Like,
What? Yeah.
they have this line about like this isn't their home world. They went here because they're trying to create weapons of mass destruction, and then you see that creature that's kind of the proto face hugger has the acid blood. So, I mean, I'm guessing they were testing out different combinations of life forms that were dangerous like this, and that eventually evolves into the xenomorph. But again, that's not in this movie. I'm trying to put patterns together.
I mean, I would also say that's a safe assumption because, again, you're taking the dialogue that we get and just trying to dissect it and trying to formulate it and everything and trying to like just make it make sense. And I guess I'm kind of in a similar thought process as you. That's where this movie went, and that's where it goes here.
But why? Why did we have to take such a long-winded, stupid route?
That's a great question. That's also because I just do wonder that if Ridley Scott wanted to make a movie about the engineers, but then somehow like decided to turn into a backdoor pilot to change it into an alien origin story or prequel, it feels like there's just two different movies going on here.
Agreed.
They're at odds with each other.
Yeah, they don't really coalesce because, again, the third act of this movie makes no sense. The engineer's plan makes no sense.
So then let's go unravel it. Let's see if we can decipher this.
We find out in the cave paintings, okay, that and I'm getting to the third act through this.
Okay.
We find out the cave paintings that the engineers they come from the stars. How do we know that? Because it's a lot of cave paintings of tall ass lurch looking motherfuckers pointing to the stars.
Yeah.
Okay, great. They use this to find the engineers. You correct me if I'm wrong, but for that to happen, the engineers had to have left some form of clue.
Yeah. When did the humans see the engineers? When does that happen?
You know what? I'm gonna hand wave. That's not even my. I'm gonna hand wave that because I got bigger fish to fry. I'll tell you. You know what? The engineers would come back. Ancient aliens. Rah, right? That's it, right? But if the engineers left the coordinates to this base, for the humans, why would they do that? If they established that this was a base they go to create weapons of mass destruction, why would they leave the coordinates for these fucking primates that they have created to maybe one day find? Okay. Maybe you might say, oh, well, maybe it was a test. Maybe it was something. Maybe it's like Star Trek, where if you invent the warp drive, you can join the Federation. To that, I would say, then why did they decide to go back and destroy the fucking planet? Why, if they were going to go back and destroy the planet, which is the third act of this movie, why would they go through the trouble of leaving coordinates to their military base?
It's basically like this weird circle that doesn't make any sense.
Nothing about that makes sense because, and I was thinking about this. If you make something up to answer one question, you then just create three more. I can't make this make sense.
So Rick has he's chiming in and he has something here that he wants to.
This should be interesting.
It always is. On concrete, engineers have a relationship with the Yautja. Because the Yautja do exist in this universe, apparently.
They do. You know what, Rick? I hope so. And I hope the Yautja take their heads.
Well, he's also correct and was convinced. And then he said, it wasn't meant for humans. What do you mean? The black goo was not meant for humans, or the coordinates were not meant for humans? Oh, are you saying? Hold on. Are you suggesting that the coordinates were left on Earth for the Yautja to find? The engineers wanted the Yautja to find the coordinates, and then yes, he's saying okay. He's answering in real time. So the Yautja would go to the planet, and they didn't have xenomorphs yet, and then come find them. Wow.
That's the only thing I'll accept now. It's the only way this makes sense.
So the engineers wanted to fight the Yautja like one-on-one? Or like, you know, that's they wanted to like throw down? Like
they would get into Mortal Kombat together.
Predator loves the Yautja do they again in the non-canon films we got, yes, it is they in those movies, if I remember correctly, we're not there, we'll be there in a few weeks when we do those movies. The Predators, the Yautja basically they have xenomorphs who are supposedly created to give them something to fight, like to test themselves. So it definitely conflicts with whatever the hell we're getting here.
Oh wait, no, I think Rick is right. What it is it's actually a billboard advertisement for the Yautja, because the engineers actually are like, come Yautja, come. If you find this on Earth looking for prey, come and we'll set you up. That's it. All connects now.
You're trying to sell them
the
xenomorphs.
The Yautja bought the xenomorphs. That's right. That's why they were creating them.
Woo! I mean,
why not?
It would lend more credence to this film.
Look, we at this point, the three of us gave more thought into this than the writers clearly did.
Yeah, and I do remember that being the original knock against this film, is that it just set up so many questions, and we were told it was going to get all paid off, and then in Alien Covenant, whatever the next one was going to be, and then from what I recall, we don't get that.
But you know what? We've established that we are staunch believers of, you don't get to set something up in one movie and go, don't worry, we'll pay it off. Because, look, Your Honor, let's look at Batman v Superman v the public at large, who complained about why is the Flash coming and busting, and talking to Bruce Wayne. It's like, yeah, we know the answer. We've read comic books, but it's not in the movie, and that's how I feel with this. Like, I don't even care what they were promising. It's not in this movie that I have paid to see. Therefore, it does not count.
I think the only time you get away with that is when you say beforehand,
yes,
this is Prometheus Part 1.
Yep.
If you title your movie Prometheus Part 1, I will allow, okay, you're setting up things because this is part of another, this is part of a larger story, but you told me that in advance, so I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
We and you both adore Kill Bill. But you released it as Volume 1.
Yep.
So we got it.
You know what you're going into.
Getting the whole thing. Exactly.
Know what you're getting into. And this movie, you don't. They don't tell you. They're like, maybe we have something to do with aliens, and then it's like, we'll tell you in the next one.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, it does not get all answered from what I remember in Alien Covenant whatsoever. And I'm also, I do want to do more digging into that movie for over the next week, because I'm kind of curious to know if, like, did the studio tell him that you need to call this Alien Covenant and not Covenant or whatever the hell, because we're not going to play that game now. We're going to market this, because this wasn't called Alien Prometheus. It was Prometheus, and then I still remember distinctly the marketing playing coy if this was in the Alien universe or not in the Alien universe or whatever the hell it was. But once you watch the film, it does tell you pretty quickly, what's going on with that part of it. At least, like, yes, it takes place in the same universe, yada yada, and then we get the reveals of what it is. In the third act of the film, since we were there, what were your thoughts on the unveiling of the Deacon Xenomorph thingamajig? Like, did you feel like it was kind of like shoehorned in? Did it makes anything?
no,
Did it just not do
no,
anything?
I felt it was shoehorned in. I felt like the whole you could have cut all of that xenomorph stuff out and it wouldn't have affected the movie. Like
Yeah.
again, it's as you said, it's like he wanted to make a movie about the engineers and had to shoehorn in all this alien stuff to get funding. Because that's what it feels like. I mean, even like in the way that it's kind of ripping off some, not ripping off because it's his imagery, but like, the proto face hugger things that wrap its arm around the guys. Like even that, I'm like, is this just to get me in like questioning about the xenomorph and where it comes from? Because this seems like it's part of your second movie that we were talking about.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, and that's I think is the biggest knock on this movie. Now, having said all that, and I acknowledge everything we're saying right now is that this movie, the story collapses on itself. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of hand waving left and right. I do think there is a slow part in the middle, but I wasn't bored by the film for the most part. I didn't feel that. I mean, there's some stuff. The movie looked cool. Like,
it looked good.
Yeah, no, it looked great. It looked top notch. You just needed a tighter script, a tighter story being told here. I think.
Yeah, well, essentially, you needed one movie.
I think you needed one movie. I think you should have focused on the engineers in this movie, told that story, the whole thing about questioning the origins of humanity, and stuck to that. And then maybe you pepper in a couple of Easter eggs for the xenomorphs, and then maybe you just like, hey, we'll get to the xenomorphs in the second film. But what we know of xenomorphs, this is all over the place with the origin of them. Like, none of it makes any sense. Like we said, the face huggers, the prototypical face huggers, the impregnation of a woman to have a xenomorph, like it's all over the place. And this is in the same film.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's almost like they don't want to commit. Like, yeah, we're xenomorph now. The story's about the engineers. Yeah, it's about the xenomorphs. Yeah, even in the same film, they can't commit. And again, it cannot be overlooked just how stupid these characters act.
They're incredibly stupid.
Talking about like the proto face hugger, right? I mean, I was joking to myself while I was watching it. Did these two idiots go to the Dennis Nedry School of Science? Where it's like, because you got they for one thing, they go, all right, we're going to go back to the ship. We're going to leave before everyone else to go back to the ship and somehow be the ones not to make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Before the storm kit, they should have been the first ones to make it as they left first, but whatever. Hand wave. Then they're scared up until they see that creature, and the one guy goes, all right, we got to get out of here. And the other one goes, nah, you're beautiful, sweetheart. You're beautiful. Come here, you're beautiful. Now, let me ask you something, man. If you were walking in the jungle of a country on Earth and you saw a snake, would you act in that manner?
No, I'm out.
Why would anyone do that to an alien creature?
I don't know. Those two are incredibly fucking stupid. What is it? Fifield and Milburn, who kind of go. You're right. It is a great question that they leave before everyone else, but yet are the last ones to get back. They get sidetracked on this thing. They get caught in this storm and stuff that's going on, and they're told they have to kind of like hang tight until we come back. But meanwhile, back at the ship was when everyone's getting down in the ship. Then, that doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And then the thing with like just because I just want to talk about all these things, and no,
go for it.
The
let it out.
It was actually pointless to have David poison the scientist, because everyone except for David and Wayland Yutani knew that thought that this thing came from when the idiot took his mask off. She actually says, like, oh, we got to check that air because that's where he might have gotten that thing from. And David goes, oh, no, that was me. Oh, posh. And no one cares. Because she never follows up with that again, that, he killed her partner and got her impregnated with that thing that we've all forgotten about until the end of the movie. But why not have it be a result of him taking his mask off and having an infection? Wouldn't that make a bit more fucking sense? Wouldn't that cut out 3 unnecessary steps in the plot?
Or how about you at least just say this? The Dr. Holloway gets attacked by a facehugger. And he bursts out of then we get the chest bursting later on. And that's it. You cut out all this other shit that you're trying to jump all over the place to explain, and you kind of just stick with the lore that you already set up. Or would that just make it too much of a straight-on alien movie, and you didn't want to?
And maybe that's the issue.
Right? Because we would get people going into space with Wayland Yutani. They go into hypersleep. There's a synth. They wake up. They go do their thing. They run into a facehugger. Someone gets one in their body. Bursts through chest. Aliens there. Then we're just another alien movie then.
And better for it. Because
yes,
again,
I do think so.
What's the plan? Even vessel going, why couldn't we be the first Wayland Yutani vessel who found this planet? And that's why Wayland Yutani is interested in Alien when they come across it, right? No, it's got to be this whole Guy Pearce in terrible fucking makeup. We haven't even talked about the terrible makeup of Guy Pearce.
It's pretty bad.
But it's awful. But so he has found these 2 crackpot lunatic scientists who have found God from cave paintings, and he's put billions of dollars and all of this money to go there to extend his life? Question mark? Again, what's the plan? How are they going to get these engineers to extend his life? How are they going to talk to these engineers? What were they going to do? I want to know the plan.
And there's a line in this movie that does question that, about communicating with the engineers. And that doesn't really get answered at all.
No,
it doesn't.
No, because there's only one left alive, and he's trying to kill the Earth.
For reasons.
Because
we don't know we never really find out what those reasons are. I think, isn't there a line where they suggest that it was just, there was a disappointment and that's it?
Yeah, because she says, why were we a disappointment? What did we do?
And that's it.
And the thing is that guy, that engineer has been frozen. All of the ones still alive have been in a state of suspended animation. We don't even know when they were going to destroy the planet. So it's not even you could say it's an attempt at social commentary of, we've become too big and they've been monitoring us, they've come to destroy us. I don't know if he's been in cryostasis for a year, for 100 years, for 1,000 years. It could be anything if they came to the planet pre-humanity.
Yeah. I mean, we have to assume it's been thousands of years, I guess. Maybe, I'm guessing. I don't know. Was he part of the OG crew that made the humans?
I don't know. And how come there are no so? And here's another logistics question. We have this planet with a base on it, creating their weapons of mass destruction. Okay, clearly this is a species of creatures that goes and creates things to see what they can do with them and manipulate them and use them. Why isn't there a base of them on Earth? Why have they just let Earth go off to do its own thing? Why is no one monitoring it?
No. Are we just supposed to assume that they just come back every once in a while and that's it? And maybe those are the alien sightings that we hear about and stuff like that? Just the National Enquirer? I don't know.
Definitely not in the script.
No, not in the script. We're once again, I found ourselves doing a lot of heavy lifting for the writers of a film.
Yeah.
Or series. That's
It's
never a good thing.
no, not at all. Not at all. And yeah, no one makes any good decisions except for David. He was the only one who makes any good decisions because he tries to kill everyone so he can escape,
He saw the script.
which is the only
And he
smart
was
thing
like-
to do when you're a slave.
Well, he also
saw the script.
He saw the script. He's like, none of this makes any sense. I'm going to kill everybody, and I'm just going to move on to my other movie, where I'm hoping that something happens here, and someone can tell me what's going on.
They just offered me the role of Magneto.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I will. One thing I will give this movie is I don't think I wasn't personally bored by it. The logic doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. It kind of the story collapses on itself. The acting is fine for what we get. I mean, the Peter Whalen Guy Pearce thing is they couldn't just cast an old guy and just kind of go with it. Like, no.
It's not like he's doing calisthenics. It's not like at some point he de-ages. I could see that.
Yeah.
Like if like you get the shitty makeup, but then at the end he gets engineer blood and he gets young, and then maybe he becomes the villain. He starts to engineer out. I don't know, something other than he just gets murdered by the engineer, and it could have literally been an old person, an old actor.
Yeah, we couldn't get like Michael Caine or something like that.
Exactly.
Michael Caine could have been Peter Whalen, or Sir Anthony Hopkins, maybe.
My name is Peter Whalen.
Anything. Like there's so many to pick from. Could have get Al Pacino to be, Peter Whalen.
Hooah! I'm in space here.
Yeah.
In space, no one can hear scream.
Vickers, you got a great ass.
Nice.
Yeah, Heat was on my mind because I also saw Crime 101 the other day, so it's kind of Heat-ish, or you want to say, like, yeah.
I love a good Pacino performance.
Yeah, I was looking for some sort of like way to wiggle that whole. That's an insane line in Heat that I do love Heat though. He's fucking awesome, but it's a pretty awesome line in there. So though, all right. So I guess rankings wise, right? We want to get to that, or we have anything else we want to get into here?
No, I think I covered all the stupidity.
It's a lot of stupidity.
There's a lot of Oh, there's one more thing. I think Charlize Theron is the Ripley of the piece, in the sense that she's the only one who is like, no, we're closing those doors. No, we're not letting the infected in. No, we shouldn't be here. And what's her thanks? She gets crushed for no reason.
Well,
just because I guess Charlize Theron didn't want to be in the sequel.
I guess so. She's just like, again, yeah, you're right. We're back to nobody listens to somebody in these. Nobody listens to the woman in his movies, and then everyone ends up dying.
Right, but including the woman. The one who lives is the stupid scientist who should have died.
Well, listen though, Jason. I mean, listen. She got impregnated with a xenomorph through actual, I guess, black goo semen or whatever, however that works, and she gave herself. She took it out of herself, and then she continued to soldier on after that.
She did. She's a goddess among human beings. I mean, I don't understand any of that. Well, no, actually, no, I understand it now. She is the third last Kryptonian, and she knows it. She couldn't be killed. which makes a hell of a lot more sense when you talk about the last stupid thing I want to talk about before I'm ready to close the book on this movie forever, which is when they're first trying to leave the ship on this hostile alien planet none of them have ever been to or have heard of or know anything about, except possibly gods live there. And the military guys go, all right, weapon up. And she goes, this is a science exploration mission. We're not having any weapons here. It's like, what?
You don't want security on some level?
You right. Like, again, going back to the jungle metaphor, I wouldn't on Earth go to certain places without armed guards.
Yeah, and you have people who are armed guards who are willing to protect you. But Jason, the logic though,
you need it.
But the logic is, movie has to happen.
That's it. Because had the guards gone out, they would have, shot some things, and they might have made it back, and
then it's over. It's like Ridley Scott.
Then it's over.
We have about a 15-minute movie.
God, I would have been better. Would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of. Back to Alien 3, it's like we have to find silly ways to disarm the military or the people with the weapons in the story to make sure the story can happen.
Yeah, which my thing. If it's just story for story purposes, I don't care.
Yeah, because the way they do it in Aliens briefly is that was actually the one that made sense because it was there. Like, hey, they have acid blood. We can't shoot them because then it's going to go ahead and drip below, and it's going to. So it made sense, but obviously the weapons had to come back later in the movie, and then that was fine. But it was a temporary way to make that work, but it served the story purposes, so it was okay.
Well, that's the thing. It was like sometimes you
called good writing.
Exactly. You need conventions to serve the story. You get a good writer. They figure out an in-story reason for that convention to exist.
Yes, not just saying, hey, this is science, man.
Right, exactly. Not science. We don't use guns. It's like, I wouldn't send them on an expedition to clean my freaking kitchen if that's their attitude.
All right, so we have our rankings currently.
All right.
Where does Prometheus land for you?
All right, so, you want to go through the whole rankings, or just tell me?
Well, I mean, yours. I'm pretty sure yours are, if I recall, Aliens. I don't think that's disputable. The top two are definitely the top two. That's when things get interesting. Okay.
All right. Then I'm going to stick with Resurrection.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to stick with Alien 3, and then this is last for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, what happened?
This is last for me. And I'll tell you why. They're both stupid. This makes less sense than Alien 3. Doesn't mean Alien 3 makes sense. Alien 3 has a proper xenomorph. It has a Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
It has some connective tissue. It actually is an alien movie, which I do not think Prometheus is. Though Alien 3, I don't know. And whereas Alien 3 is definitely a hybrid of two different scripts, those are at least two different scripts, I believe, of the same movie. And this is a hybrid of two very different movies.
Hybrids seem to be ruining this franchise as time goes on. That was the biggest villain in the Alien movies has been hybrids. So mine would be Aliens. Alien, we know that. Me and you have the top two flipped, but the top two are not debatable in whatever order you want to put them in.
That's a lot.
I know I had Resurrection at third. Resurrection's dumb as fuck. It's weird, but I also didn't say it was boring, and that was my knock. That's why I gave it above Alien 3, because Alien 3 is boring as hell. So I guess Resurrection still stands in third. And then this and Alien 3. I mean, I think we're also, and I'm going to throw Alien Resurrection in this because I think, again, we're comparing green turds with brown turds with. I have to put Prometheus ahead of Alien 3 only for this. Only for this. And I agree. I don't disagree with your sentiment that at least Alien 3 knows it wants to be an alien movie. So I'll give it that. But I wasn't completely bored by this movie. It's stupid. There was some, again, I just put literally because I'm giving it the same edge that I gave Resurrection. It's just because I wasn't bored.
Okay.
It kept me invested, and then at least my questions kept keeping me invested because the questions started piling up because I didn't know what was going on or why any of this is happening, and that kept me invested. A big knock against this movie, though, is that it does feel like an incomplete film. And again, if you paid off all the questions in the sequel, then I might be a little bit more lax, but I know that doesn't happen. I'm curious to remember which ones do get answered, though. But I recall a lot of them not being answered. And they were kind of like, we're just going to move on. So
yeah, well, I don't think we ever get it answered what happens because this movie ends with them flying off to find the engineers, and I know we never return to that. So
no,
and that's the big thing you kind of need to return to.
Kind of a big deal. I think it's something you might want to do. You know, if you yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it's just it's a weird thing. And yeah, if I remember correctly, like Alien Covenant chooses to follow David's story instead of the story of many others. It kind of just gets sidetracked. Like, yeah, forget about the engineers. David. That's what we need.
Right. You know who's an engineer? David.
David's an engineer. Oh man, yeah, this movie, it's definitely. I disliked it more this time around than I remember originally, but I remember it being frustrating. But yeah, it's definitely lost some luster for me over time as well. You really did a complete 180 because I remember you being like, "Hey, it's interesting" and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it interesting stuff, but on the rewatch, because I never rewatched it, but on the rewatch, like knowing where it was going, I was able to pay attention to all the shit that made no sense, and that just killed it for me. Because there's just too much of it. Like I couldn't hand wave all of it.
No, it's inescapable, completely. All right, so then that does wrap it up for us this week. Thank you, as always, for joining us. If you joined us on the Facebook live stream, be sure to check out Granny's PhD's Facebook group. We're share a bunch of trailers and other stories that don't make the show here. Check out Pop Culture Pros and popculturepros.com because that's who we are presented by. As well on YouTube, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros and wherever you found your audio-only podcast. We will be back next week. Still no TV show, but we will have Alien Covenant, and we were going to go searching for answers. All the questions we had tonight, we're going to go try to find these answers next week.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be
there. Spoiler alert, we're not going to find them all. They're not getting the answers we're looking for. These are not the answers to the questions you're looking for. Oh, boy. Oh, man. But that is where we'll be at next week. So come check us out then. We'll see if there's a new trailer or not that drops in between now and then. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.